Greetings, welcome to number 35. On this one, we'll be talking about the BMW 2002. I'm going back a little bit to cars. We spent a lot of time on watches and praise and breakdown and all that stuff in the past 3 episodes. But this time I wanted to focus more on the enthusiast side, so we're not gonna see a lot of numbers, um, price, and all that stuff. It's more like history of what happened with the car, what made it special, and why the 2002 is one of the most significant cars in car history. Um, I would say it's one of the relevant ones, especially if you understand the meaning of it for BMW. So the 2002 started in around the 60s when BMW was having a rough patch. Think of it kind of like, Volkswagen with the Rabbit, or Porsche with the 996. But BMW was on the verge of bankruptcy. They were struggling quite a bit, and this was post World War II, and they had projects like the Isetta, uh, the Help stall, like bankruptcy or and all the struggles that they were having. It helped delay it a little bit or helped them stay afloat for a little while, but they needed something that was a breakthrough to survive. And uh, I didn't know this, but there's something called uh, new class on BMWs, which is like the series of sedans that were introduced in 1962. And these cars represented a change in BMW because BMW's offerings were not specifically what we know them for now, or when people say, "Oh, this is not a BMW," like the golden years of BMW. The new ones are known for being like bulkier, bigger, but back then it was more like a small car, big engine kind of thing. And these BMWs feature modern styling for the time, right, for the 60s. And one of the designers um, was Wilhelm Hofmeister, and he established the design elements, or helped establish the design elements that will become uh, hallmarks for BMW. But BMW saw the opportunity for smaller, more affordable cars, two doors versions of this four-door sedan. So the new class was the four-door sedans, and yeah, that was a change, significant change in BMW. But then there was something else that happened. Uh, the 2002 had a predecessor, which is the 1602, and this one launched in May of 1966. This was BMW's 50th anniversary, and this two-door featured 85 horsepower, 1.6 liter M10 engine, and it became super popular. So that's why the numbering is 16 at the beginning, and but the car couldn't meet U.S. Emission standards, so it was never brought to the U.S. And then there was a breakthrough that came, and this is interesting because it happens often. At least back in the day when there was a not a rogue engineer, but like somebody that wanted to make something a little different, just saw the potential of having something cool happening if a tiny tweak were to happen, kind of like with the GTI, the Rabbit and the GTI. In this case, two BMW executives, they installed a 2.0 2 liter engine in their personal 1602. And then when the BMW director, the director of product planning, and the designer of the M10 engine discovered that they had both made the same modification, because these two dudes did it independently. Then the idea of the 2002 was born, and hence the name, right? Because before it was a 1.6 engine, so it was a 1602, and now with the 2.0 engine is a 2002. So the first two numbers are the denomination of the engine. And this accidental innovation, uh, combined with some encouragement from BMW's U.S. importer Max Hoffman, led to the 2002 development. The technical innovations and engineering breakthrough for the 2002 were they had several and significant that would influence automotive design later on. One of them is the engine technology. The 2002 used an M10 four-cylinder engine and used different configurations. Same engine, different configurations. The base model had a 101 horsepower, and it was the basic 2.0 liter single carburetor setup. Then there was a more powerful version, a 2002 Ti, and this featured dual Solex carburetors, and it generated 119 horsepower. What, quite a bit, huh? But and then there was the fuel injected 2002 Tii, and it delivered 130 horsepower using advanced Cool-Fisher mechanical fuel injection. And then the peak 2002 engineering was the 2002 turbo. This was introduced in 1973, and it was groundbreaking. It was the first turbocharger production car from Europe. It featured a turbocharger that boosted the output, to 170 horsepower. The turbo model represented a technological force, and it helped widespread the turbocharger technology for decades to come. We still use turbos, right? So this is one of the precursors of that trend. The chassis and suspension. The 2002 feature sophisticated suspension system with McPherson struts. Oh no double wishbone. But the McPherson struts were in the front, and BMW semi-trailing arm independent rear suspension. So this configuration provided excellent handling characteristics and distinguished the 2002 from other cars from the same time. The car's lightweight construction, it was approximately 1,000 kilograms. Combined with its balanced chassis, created exceptional agility. Then we have the design philosophy. And again, the 2002 embodied the BMW's big engine, small car philosophy. And this approach borrowed from American hot rod culture. That's where they brought in the idea, and it created a vehicle that offered sports car performance in a practical sedan package. And the styling was pretty Bauhaus, and it was done by George Bertram and Manfred Rennen. And till this day, it looks good. That car looks good anytime you see it. And in the market, the positioning of the 2002, it kind of arrived at the perfect time to grab the attention of American buyers, mainly because they were seeking alternative to domestic muscle cars. And it was priced very competitively with the Impala of the time, and it offered like kind of European appeal, better handling than all these hot rods or muscle cars from the U.S. And that was kind of like the breaking point, and that helped these BMW cars to make their own space in the U.S. In 1968, there was a review by car and driver writer David E. Davis Jr., and he said he praised the 2002 for the ability to outmaneuver much more powerful American vehicles on twisty roads. And he noted that he provided, and this is a direct quote, raw courage that is built into the BMW's driver's seat as a no extra cost. Meaning, in regular roads, twisty roads, the 2002 was so much better than American muscle, unfortunately. Nowadays, it's debatable, but back then, yes. The 2002 educated American enthusiasts about the sublime calculus of the ride and handling that European cars or German cars can have. It had a good suspension. The steering communicated everything on the road, and he had a really balanced chassis, and he created a driving experience that felt really modern. The quality and reliability of the 2002, unlike many European competitors, the 2002 offer exceptional build quality and mechanical robustness. The M10 engine proved durable and reliable, and it was seen to exceed the 100,000 miles mark with proper maintenance. And this reliability combined with BMW's growing dealer network in everywhere made it 2002 a practical choice for daily driving. So perfect timing for BMW then. And when it comes to sales, the impact was substantial immediately for BMW. BMW US sales tripled from 1,250 car, which is laughable, in 1966 to 4,564 in 1967. Man, these numbers are crazy. And this was following the 1602 introduction. Then the 2002 arrival in 1968 accelerated this growth dramatically, with 2002 series sales alone reaching now 9,637 units in 1969. By 1974, BMW sold 111,239 units of the 2002 range globally. By the way, I said that the 1602 was not sold in the US. If I said that, I was wrong. It was actually sold here, as we saw on the numbers that I just mentioned. But there's also more about the racing heritage of the 2002, something that I hadn't mentioned. The car actually has really, really great racing heritage, and it did it in circuit racing, and one of the most notable victories was in the European Touring Car Championship in 1968 and 1969, which won. The car proved particularly competitive in the 2.0 liter class, and with some work also entering the turbocharged versions of the races. Another achievement that he had is the 1975 Le Mans 24 hours victory in touring special class, and it was a BMW 2002 entered by Max Heidegger, and he completed 251 laps, covering 3,430 kilometers at an average speed of 143 kilometers per hour. And it showed that the 2002 endurance capabilities on motorsport most demanding stage. Also, it had some victories in rally competition. BMW used the 2002 as a foundation for their rally program at the time. The car achieved its most significant rally victory in the 1972 TAP Portuguese Rally, and he won by, the driver was Akim Warmbald, and it also secured the 1971 European Rally Championship. And the 2002's rally heritage include appearances at prestigious events like the Monte Carlo Rally and competition at the highest level with drivers including Bjorn Waldegaard and Ari Vatanen. The car was very successful also in racing. Grassroots racing. Beyond factory efforts, the 2002 became a favorite among private racers. and club competitors. And the construction, how the car was constructed, it proved for it to be a good platform for people to build. It made ideal for SCCA and vintage racing, and either now modern vintage racing continues to celebrate the 2002 with some competitive examples winning regularly and, like, casual races. Some issues and challenges from the car, meaning quality issues, could be overtime, right? We're talking about if you keep the car for a long time, you need to pay attention to these things. So rust and corrosion, that's one weakness that this car can have. And common rust areas include the box sections beneath the radiator, the metal behind the headlights, and the junction between the inner front wings and the sills. The sills can actually rot completely, and it can require expensive welding repairs. Man, that sounds painful. The engine maintenance, the M10 engine, it's generally reliable, but requires regular maintenance. Common issues include worn valve stems, valve stem seals causing blue smoke, particularly during deceleration. Sorry. The aluminum cylinder head can crack if it's overheated, and it emphasizes the importance of cooling system maintenance. Cooling system problems, overheating issues are common in cars that are neglected. So if you have one, don't neglect the cooling. The cooling system requires regular maintenance, including fresh hoses, clean radiator, and proper thermostat operations. Uh, Many owners, it seems like they upgrade to the 320i radiators to improve cooling. Not a bad idea. Electrical issues. Older 2002s can suffer from electrical issues like erratic gauges, trace to poor ground connections. The car's basic electrical system, while it seems to be simple, it requires attention to fuses and connections. The fuel system maintenance, carburetor equipped models require regular fuel filter changes and periodic carburetor cleaning. The mechanical fuel injection system on TII models, while advanced for its time, can be challenging to maintain and adjust properly. But other than that, the car is very desired by collectors or people that just want to drive them daily. There's actually people that modify those, resto mod this cars, right? So if let me look for what I'm trying to say. It's actually a video that I watched not too long ago by O Shift. That's the name of the channel, O Shift. So let's see. I'm trying to look at my history here, but yeah. So going back to prices while I find this, but the median price is around 20K for average condition examples. The turbo now it's more desired, so that one can command some premium money like 140,000 for well documented examples. And Haggerty values the 2002 turbo approximately at kind of like $100,000 in average condition. Again, restoration and modification scene. One channel that you can check is O Shift. They have cool car videos. I just found them. Great channel. But they have a 1972 350 horsepower BMW 2002 turbo, and it has an M42 motor, and it's done by Manified, I think it's called. You can find Manified on Instagram too. But yeah, that's a good example of how people modify this and how they make them better looking, better handling, more power. And the cultural impact, even for the own BMW. Now, the 2002 homage concept based on the M2 demonstrates the original enduring influence of this car. And future prospects. The 2002 combination of historical significance, driving enjoyment, and relative affordability ensures the popularity that continues until now. And it's unlike many classic cars. The 2002, yes, they might have some showpieces, right? There might be some cars that are just for show only, but it remains a car or a classic car that can be truly driven every day. And its usability combined with its pivotal role in BMW's history guarantees the 2002 status as forever classic. That's for sure. But yeah, the 2002 has proved that small, well-engineered cars can compete with larger, more powerful vehicles through better handling, better quality, and this lesson influenced not only BMW's future, but the entire automotive industry back then, um, and their approach to performance cars. Yeah, the 2002 is a car that I really like. I know I haven't spent a lot of time on BMW on this channel, but I don't dislike him. You know, my dream car is the E46 M3 CSL to be specific. But that was only sold in Europe. Here in the US, we only got the regular M3. It's still cool. I still like it. You know, a white one probably would be my choice. But I'll leave the link for that 2002 homage based on the M2 on the show notes, and I'll leave the YouTube video that I was talking about on the show notes. That's all I have for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. See you next time.